me another way that we could have made 0 by using 2 tiles or 6 tiles, or is that?
2 tiles, I put a negative and a positive, and then absolute.
Yeah, if instead of putting a tile on the opposite side, Zach is saying if I put a negative up here, of course that will make a 0 pair. You could have done the same, or any combination. So if instead of doing this tile, you had just one empty tile up here, like it'll still equal out to 0. So lots of ways to do it, except when we have an odd amount. Questions? Moving on. Oh, come on, quit. I've realized if I zoom further, it won't. No, earlier you were working so well. Stop it.
Error.
You just need to scroll up a little bit.
The board is
Don't hyperventilate. Ah! All right. So the first one simplifies down to x and a -4. But if I wrote out what I saw, it would have been 2x and -3. And then I could have written the opposite of x and +1, or I could have realized, oh, that's actually going to be a -x, that's actually going to be a -1. Simplifies out. B simplifies out to just 2, and C, 2x and a -2x and a -2. Wait.
Did I get
Oh, wait, yeah.
Doesn't the one on the top and the one on the bottom and the first one cancel each other out?
Nope.
No. Why not?
That's the trap door.
It's the
They look like opposites.
But they're not.
However, this one is actually the opposite of what it looks.
Oh my god.
So if we bring this across the line, it's a negative, right? It's a -x. Does that make sense now?
Yes.
Yep. Trap door.
I was very confused.
Trap door. All right, on the back. Nick.
I have told you this before, but
Yes, but not in front of the whole
yes,
class.
But E, the answer to E, is incorrect. You forgot to square the 2.
E is incorrect, which Nick found while he was checking his own homework. I forgot to square my 2. So how does that change things? Well, what is 2 squared? 4. So really that would be 3 times 4. So what's 3 times 4? 12 minus 1, which would be 11. Who got 11? Yeah, you're better than me.
I got that very wrong.
Wait, let's see it. Wait, what is
I got 1,296.
Crap. Now I'm gonna have to.
So I think I
Okay,
did very
so
wrong.
E.
Wait a
E.
minute. Hold on, I'm confused.
So am I. What are you confused about? E is 14 in for T, right? 14 substitutes, minus 12. I forgot that the square needs to come along with it because I was probably distracted by people in an airport. I'm just being honest. Guys, it's okay if we make mistakes. There's always a reason why we made mistakes. Mine was I was distracted. Yes.
I can't see.
Yeah. We'll come back to C in a second.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because, yeah, Sam was asking about, wait, I'm still confused on E. So then 14 minus 12 gets me 2. 2 squared gets us 4. So this would actually be 3 in parentheses would be 4, then minus 1. Because 2 squared became this 4. Does that make sense now? Okay. With 2 classes in a row and then extensions, if I don't turn that down, it gets real warm in here. I'm jealous of my teacher colleagues that have windows in their classrooms. So, your calculator's stupid. Grab a calculator, at least one at your group. I'm serious. Grab a calculator. Your calculator's stupid.
So pretty.
I want you to type in -5 squared. Now, if we don't know how to type in -5 squared, the first step is typing the negative. Ooh, who would have thought? So the negative is right here, not the minus. So negative is the first thing we're going to type, not pi. -5 squared. Now the square is over here on the left of your calculator. The x squared, what that's telling you is whatever number you typed in, that's why it says x, whatever number you typed in, we're going to square it. Now hold on, before you hit enter, which a lot of you have already done, I'm sure, what does squaring do? Now I'm like, there's a best answer here. There is a best answer here. Val?
Makes the number times by itself, I think.
It multiplies the number by itself. What else does squaring do? Especially if we're kind of talking like geometry. So?
Turns it into a square.
What do you mean it?
The number, like there's 5 by 5 by 5, and then you make it a cube and the volume.
It turns a length into a square, right? It turns a length into a square. But a length of -5? So this is a situation where geometrically this wouldn't really make sense. But mathematically, what is -5 times -5? Anybody?
25.
Positive?
Yes.
Then why?
Mine says 25.
Because your calculator's smarter than mine.
Negative 25.
But the answer is 25. Liam?
This is just a question. I was rubbing my calculator when you showed the negative button.
Negatives down at the bottom, right beside the decimal point. Guys, your calculator is as smart as someone who only memorized things. Your calculator is applying the order of operations, which tells us do the exponent before we care about other things. Right? Parentheses, exponents. Here is how we fix our calculator being stupid. Parenthesis open, -5, that's an 8. Parenthesis closed, square.
When I tried that, it said syntax error.
You use minus instead of negative. Pay attention to the negative is down here by the decimal.
Then I used the negative button after I figured out that was the button.
So, all of this to say, one, as we've talked about, wow, did we talk about repeating decimals in here?
Yes.
No.
So your calculator is stupid in multiple ways. Repeating decimals, like if I do 6/9, this 7 is a lie.
Oh my god.
This decimal doesn't stop. It doesn't turn into 7. It repeats forever, right? But your calculator can't show us that. At least these sort of simpler calculators. And when we square a negative number, it's gonna give us a negative answer unless we put our negative number in parentheses, right? So be very careful about that. Like if you're using a calculator, be careful. But if you're not using a calculator, I'm sure you're like, oh, negative times negative, positive. So then, I don't even know where I was. Oh, right here. So this -5, when squared, becomes positive. That's how we get positive 75. -1 gets us 74. Questions? No preguntas? It's questions in Spanish. Oh, come on.
Again? It's happening.
You should push the laugh button when Mr. Hudson fails.
Whoa. You mean when I'm progressing?
Yeah.
We're progressing.
Progressive. I forgot. Phoenix doesn't do
Any questions
failure.
on this?
The word failure does not exist at Phoenix.
Guys, trust me, these diamond problems will serve you a huge benefit when you get into high school math. The more comfortable you get with these, because you start to do really complex math,
What?
and being able to work sums and products quickly is a really good skill.
I like diamond problems.
So, are you whatting D?
Yes. No, C. I'm wanting C.
Yeah.
Because a negative plus a positive equals.
I got
So, basically, adding, -16 and 1/2.
Well, I think first they got to figure out how to get the -16. So, how'd you figure out to get the -16, Sam?
Um,
Could I please have Raphael to the Phoenix office? Raphael to the Phoenix office. Thank you.
Do you know, Sam, or you want to walk it through? So, what we know, the answer we know is what?
8.
Is what?
8?
Is what?
-8.
-8. Guys, I played drums, but I'm not hard of hearing. If I'm saying what over and over, like you're missing something, right? That's one of my things.
It only
I
took me
find
2
it,
tries to figure
I
it out.
find it funny. So the answer we know is -8, and that came from 1/2 times something. This something. So half of what gets -8? Oh, -16.
I thought it was -4.
Then we add them, and the negative wins, right? The bad guy wins. If we've talked about my like positive, negative, good guy, bad guy in here. And then D, we need common denominators, right? That's why we did that first. Isaac?
I just multiplied -8 by 2.
Yeah, because the inverse. Yeah, I get you. Yep. You essentially kind of did like keep change flip in a way. Yeah, right.
I did have one question. So for D, why is it 1/10? Shouldn't it be
So when we multiply, thank you, because I did not show the unreduced. When we multiply, if I use these fractions, I'm going to get bigger numbers. But remember, we don't need common denominators to multiply. So I could just do 1/2 times 1/5. Sorry about my 5. And that gets us 1/10. Yeah. Or if I use the bigger numbers, I get 10 over 100. And 10 over 100 still reduces to 1/10. Nick.
When I was like in 3rd grade, really young, so on the math test, I started getting like questions about fractions. I didn't really know what they were.
That's why I hate math. It always pushes beyond what you know.
So
I'm like,
I just assumed like, oh, okay, like I'll just do multiplication of the top and the bottom individually, and
Yeah.
then do that again.
Stop
But for
it.
some reason it worked, so then it gave me like even harder
yeah.
fraction problems.
Well, that means that your number sense skills were pretty strong, that you could kind of just like, oh, what if I do this? And then this is another really important skill to get like comfortable with to head into high school and use it with like variables and really complicated things. Most of us are checking with highlighters, but I think some of us have forgotten. So run back through it. If you know you got answers right, just check them off. Where's yours? Do you think it's at home, or would you like another one? You just gotta complete. Well, don't necessarily redo it if you think you did it somewhere. Anyone have questions on this? You good, man. Just yeah, give it to me when you find it. Give it to me when you find it. Or... Is this making sense now? I see it's all it's totally good that we help each other. Totally fine with that. Oh, do you need it? Oh, okay. Just making sure.
That's literally
All right, turn it in. If it's done, turn it in.
I got a lot of questions wrong on that one.
3 times on the same
I actually thought I got them right though.
Do they make sense now?
Yes.
Like I got
Like
so
they were,
far that it
most of them were just stupid mistakes. Like I'm like, a
Yeah.
positive times a negative is a negative.
Wait, a positive one of my 215 is another.
Sure. But I would ask you to try and find it before you redo it. Sorry, I was gonna check my folders and make sure that nobody turned one in. 216 is back here because the front was getting too crowded. So if you didn't get it, maybe ask your teammates, to grab you one.
I really want to hit the laugh button. Say something funny. Say something funny. Oh,
What do you call a fatigued pea?
I do not know.
A sleepy. If your Chromebook's not out, get it out. If you don't have it, you're just going to be sharing. What's the difference between a jeweler and a jailer?
One of them goes to jail.
One sells watches and one watches sells. Moving on.
No, it didn't work.
Please no more. Kind of creepy. You. Some of you don't even need me to give directions and you know what we're doing. Isaac, where's your computer?
Yeah,
If you don't have one, get partnered with somebody.
I already know where we're going. Once we have this little pointer obvious. Ew, I hate this.
We didn't have to. Desmos is sweet.
Desmos good. Desmos.
Well, if it was boring, your teacher didn't do it right, so I'm sorry about your teacher, but now you're with me.
Lucy, you might
No, she didn't.
There's never enough time. I'm always doing more.
Mine was
Yo!
Please report to the main office. Minerva Hill to the main office, please.
Sorry, when the announcements come on, we gotta be quiet so we don't miss something. Alright, so first things first, if anything somehow happened, like anyone was sick or whatever else, and you are not connected with me on Desmos, we need to take care of that. But you should be going to Desmos, you should be logging in with Google, like your school Google account, and there should be an activity 215 there assigned to you.
I don't think that I'm in your class.
In my Desmos class? Yeah. Log in and then we'll double check.
I am logged in.
Leave Schoology. Yeah, a lot of things won't work right if you're still in Schoology. So guys, when you're following the link from Schoology, I always advise that you leave Schoology.
I already logged in.
This is the what?
This is the screenshot.
That is the screen that you want to be on, but then sign in with Google. So you're signed in with Bradley, you need to sign in.
No, when your friends ask you why your fingernails are
Your
white.
student homepage.
It's a Miss Ellis likes orchestra.
And then once you log in student homepage.
That's fun.
Once you're logged in, guys, click on student homepage.
Sign in with
You know there is no such thing as an A+ at Phoenix.
oh well, we're
Student homepage.
Violet Zimmerman to the health office, please. Violet, please come to the office.
So, I don't know how you got here. Click back up there. Why are you? So you're on teacher.yahoo.com. Because you logged in.
Amazing. We have our tricks. We have to leave.
So, right
He said
I did leave.
imagine. I was absent.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I will have the activity restricted if I don't want you like going into it or doing whatever. So, because I can do pacing, I can restrict your pacing. So start it, dive in. 215.
I can't do anything because I don't have extra.
We did one day, but not everyone had their computer, so don't worry. I know, because if only a person or two have done it, there won't be very many results.
Yeah.
Then you can come back later at some point.
Me, I did it.
Oh, good.
Because I'm not cool.
I think my birthday is
I
on.
did it first. I was literally sitting at it being one for like almost 12.
It's like somebody coded this software to do
Oh.
things specifically.
Oh,
It's smarter than
I can't
me.
write in like
Since I know about
It'll be good for us to
the
keep it
monkey.
animated and then
Double everything.
Well, so here's the other thing. If you're gonna do something like that, make sure that you've done what you need to do first. Like the activity sitting in front of you, right? So click continue.
Oh, okay. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, notice the next buttons.
If you don't have graph paper, I'm confused because that's an everyday thing. And now Desmos is asking you to like do a little bit of work, right? A little bit of, like play with the numbers.
I just made my number 1.
Oh, I know this figure.
Because you are the number one. One is the loneliest number that there ever was. Two can be a sad one. But the loneliest number is the number one. You guys don't even know, but your parents probably don't even listen to that sort of music. So guys, at the top right, the next button. So notice it just says the day
What does this mean?
of the month, not month and day, just day.
Everyone say your birthday is.
It's on my dad's
Just
favorite song.
day.
Oh, I know one.
What did I notice that?
Yeah, it says reload. What did you reload this page? Because multiple people are here.
What? Interesting.
My number's 3.
Oh, that's wrong.
This is confusing.
Oh, are you not joined up with me?
No. At 6 years old. 10.
Rather do
Split it in half.
Wow, we did this right.
Not the original numbers. 3. Okay,
My class
so what is your number? 2. So 4.
all the way up.
CF3. Here, I'll just like shout it to you over there.
10. Subtract. Wait, so
It should be 8. Wait, no.
P4C.
No.
CF3.
Wait, so
P4C.
4, 10,
So, why did you
5,
write they are all
add
the same?
5, 10.
Oh my god, oh my god,
Minus
lol,
2.
oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. 8.
Wait, what are we doing?
What do you notice?
Wait, how are we doing this? Mr. Hudson, what do we do for question 4?
Give me a second, 'cause I'm still trying to get. Is it telling you that you're waiting for me now, or what?
You just place your orange dot on the
Oh,
number
I
that you
get
got.
it. Okay.
And I'm assuming you got 8,
Yeah.
so you'll put it right on top of my dot. Double your number that you got.
Oh.
Just double your number.
Cool.
Was I right or was I wrong?
You were wrong.
So I will never, when I'm recording, I will never leave your regular names turned on because I do not want your first name, last name connected, like floating out on the internet. But let's check out what some people said. So even though we all started with different numbers, happy birthday to me.
Yo, I think I saw
We then had all the same directions, right? Everyone had the double, add 6, split, add 5, subtract original. And then things got weird because Noah showed up. Now, then things got weird because we all, what? Y'all cheated. Y'all did, you looked off somebody else's computer. No.
They're all the same.
You
All
did-
of you.
I'm Ibri Al Hayfam.
I think somebody. How did y'all get the same act? Like
I
that's
can
not.
tell you.
They were all 8.
I know.
What well, that's what you're saying, but
Very
that's.
smart.
No, I swear, I actually know so got 8. Same here.
IBN Alpha.
All right, so I guess keep going.
Damn.
Okay. All right. I mean, I didn't say I didn't believe you.
This is the thing. No, we did this last year.
What? Well, poo-poo to your teacher because this is one of my activities. They weren't supposed to do one of my activities.
Where are we supposed to put the orange dot?
Oh, this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was about to say, this is my content to teach. If they taught it, I'm upset.
Where are we supposed to put the orange dot? I don't get it.
Your point is orange, and on the x-axis at the day you were born.
Yeah.
Why is my
I
name
want to see from the
notoriously
oldest.
brown?
It is,
Double,
but what about the
double.
Y?
My name is notoriously brown now. Bryson.
My name is IBN Alhafam.
Hey guys, Desmos doesn't work if you don't read directions. So when you're asking me something that is told to you in the directions, I'm not going to help you. Struggle is okay. Struggle is productive. And struggle because you didn't read the directions is a learning opportunity. You should read the directions. So I will unpause, but if you don't read the directions, yeah, you'll be confused.
Can you turn off anonymous mode?
No, you were out of the classroom when I said this, but this is recording, so I don't want your guys' first and last name connected to go out on the internet. So that's why it's anonymized for it to be on that screen right there.
I just like how we can see our anonymous name.
Right? Because then you could look up who that famous mathematician is.
Oh wait, these are all
Leah,
physics.
you about took me down by leaving that stool
Wait,
there.
does someone have Albert Einstein as their
So wait, did I say stop at
Albert
5?
Einstein.
So, where do I go? Desmos?
2x plus 6 and 6 and a half.
Alright, so I see a couple of us. Staring at this screen.
The draft screen.
What do I?
Since everyone in the class chose a different number, what if we just call that x? And then for every number x, what would be double the x? So, would we be certain that it would be 24?
No.
Not unless x was 12. So if x is 12, yeah. But whoever Rochelle Gutierrez is might want to go back and adjust that because everybody's x is not 12.
I think we should be able to make our own.
Now it seems pretty consistent. 2x, 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 which is a great time to remind you, because we've started to see stuff like this on your homework, when a number is right up against a parentheses. That is multiplication. But also, when a number is right up against like a letter, that's also multiplication. So 2x does not need the multiplication, but you can put the dot in if you want. Questions? All right, keep rolling.
I'm so confused.
Oh my gosh, I did it right.
What if I did smart?
What number are we on?
Well, you just start at 1, right? And then work your way through.
But that means I'm not going to be able to see everybody's answer. Wait, only you can see the answers, right?
It depends. You'll be able to see some of them. Concha Gomez. And guys, these are all famous mathematicians, which is also why I like to use.
Oh, I know who I am.
Concha Gomez, you might want to go back and look at slide 6.
Who am I?
Wait, how do I know who I am?
At the top left of your screen. And then if you want to Google them, they made like substantial contributions to the mathematical.
Ivan Alhafam? I'm a man. I don't want to be a man. I hate men. They're so...
I'm retarded. I'm retarded.
I'm just saying they don't agree.
Retarded. Wait, you're Leah.
Oh, this is right. Never mind.
Interesting.
There we go. Go back a screen and fix that. What?
No, Leah, look for my answer. A typical Ivan Alhafam answer. But his name doesn't even make sense because there are no vowels. IBN is not a first name.
A is a vowel.
Hey
IBN.
guys, some of you are letting like your just Americanness show right now. Other cultures cultures spell things different ways.
Yeah. My name isn't Indian.
Like when I learned over in Europe that the comma gets used in place of the decimal point. It was mind-blowing. And it made me realize, oh, I'm ignorant. I don't know a lot about a lot of other things. So, like, being really loud about those judgments aren't great.
I like IBM. The equation is rigged. OMG, it's all fake. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I wish I was on the same number as you guys so I could see what everybody's saying.
Well, just keep going. I'm not going to stop the activity.
Are we allowed to use the calculator?
I mean, I doubt that you need it, but probably. I don't know. Sorry, give me just a second.
Yeah, I'm using the calculator. Because I'm lazy. I have one.
Yeah, just use autocorrect.
I just go out of the message. Just put something and then click share with the rest and see everybody else.
Mr. Hudson, what do they mean by build up the magic expression set?
Go back.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What does it mean build up the magic expression step 5?
Next, the biggest thing.
Sorry, what slide are you on?
Now what do you think is going on?
What slide? What number?
10.
So slide 10 is like a type your answer. I'm going to come back there.
I did it. I'm smart. So you didn't follow directions. You didn't follow directions. I just steal this guy's answer.
No, go to question.
By 30. So you got 8. You notice.
I only get 3 people. Did you get me? No. Oh, you're not in the same number.
So this is where you start to go right. Read this. This is incorrect.
And then every slide after that will probably need modified. Sam, did you fix all those mistakes that you found? Yeah, now you're rolling.
You might want to check your time.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I should probably pause my recording so I don't get flagged.